There are moments in life when the world seems to close in, when the weight of existence presses so heavily that hope itself feels like a distant memory. For me, the journey from despair to success was not a straight path. It was a winding road, marked by struggle, doubt, and ultimately, transformation. As I reflect on those darkest days, I realize that my story is not just about overcoming hardship, but about discovering the strength that lies dormant within us all. It began quietly, the way storms often do. At first, there were subtle signs: fatigue that lingered past sunrise, a heaviness in my chest that refused to dissipate. Responsibilities piled up, expectations loomed, and I found myself sinking into a void of uncertainty. Each day felt like climbing a mountain with no summit in sight, every step more burdensome than the last. Friends reached out, but their words echoed hollow in my ears. Family tried to comfort me, but I could not articulate the depth of my anguish. I was trapped in a labyrinth of my own mind, haunted by fears I could not name. Despair is a slow poison. It erodes confidence and drowns dreams. The world outside continued its relentless march. People went about their lives. Laughter echoed in distant rooms, and the sun rose and set with indifference. Inside, I felt invisible. At my lowest, I questioned my worth, wondering if the darkness would ever lift. Nights were the worst, filled with restless thoughts and silent tears. The simple act of facing another day became a monumental challenge. Yet, even in the depths of hopelessness, small sparks began to flicker. I recall a moment in the early morning, when the first rays of sunlight crept through my window. It was not dramatic, but it was real, a gentle reminder that no night lasts forever. I started to notice these subtle signs: the warmth of a cup of tea in my hands, the comfort of a favorite song, the simple act of breathing deeply. These fragments of light did not banish the darkness, but they punctured it, creating space for something new. The turning point came quietly. It was not a dramatic revelation, but a gradual shift, a decision to seek help. I reached out to a counselor, and for the first time, I spoke my truth aloud. The act of sharing my pain was itself an act of courage, a declaration that I was ready to confront my demons. Therapy was not easy. It forced me to face memories I had buried, to challenge beliefs that had shackled me for years. But slowly, I learned to navigate my emotions, to recognize patterns, and to forgive myself for being imperfect. Support came from unexpected places. Friends who had once seemed distant returned, offering their presence rather than advice. Family members listened, truly listened, without judgment. I discovered communities of people who had walked similar paths, whose stories mirrored my own. In their company, I found validation and understanding. I began to realize that I was not alone, that my struggles were not signs of weakness, but marks of resilience. Change is incremental. I set small goals, getting out of bed, taking a walk, writing a single sentence in a journal. Each tiny victory became a building block, a way to reclaim agency over my life. I started reading again, immersing myself in stories of people who had overcome adversity. Their journeys inspired me, reminding me that pain was not the end, but a passage. I began to dream, cautiously at first, then with growing confidence. As months passed, the darkness receded. It did not vanish, but it lost its grip. I embraced new routines, prioritizing self-care and mindfulness. Exercise became a lifeline, a way to release tension and reconnect with my body. Meditation taught me to be present, to observe my thoughts without judgment. I learned to celebrate progress, however small, and to grant myself patience during setbacks. Gradually, opportunities emerged. I returned to work, armed with new skills and a deeper understanding of my limits. Projects that once felt overwhelming became manageable. I sought feedback, learned from mistakes, and cultivated a growth mindset. The fear of failure diminished, replaced by a willingness to experiment and adapt. I discovered passions that had lain dormant: creative pursuits, volunteering, connecting with others. Each new endeavor was a testament to my resilience, a declaration that I was more than my struggles. Success, I realized, was not a destination, but a journey. It was not measured in accolades or material gains, but in the ability to persevere, to rise after falling. I redefined what success meant to me: living authentically, nurturing relationships, contributing to something larger than myself. I set new goals, both personal and professional, and pursued them with renewed vigor. Failures still occurred, but they no longer defined me. Instead, they became lessons, stepping stones on the path forward. Looking back, I see the importance of those darkest days. They taught me humility, empathy, and gratitude. I became more attuned to the struggles of others, more willing to offer support and kindness. The journey through despair reshaped my perspective, reminding me that vulnerability is not a flaw, but a source of strength. I learned to accept help, to lean on others, and to extend the same compassion to myself that I offered to those around me. Today, I embrace life with a sense of purpose. I am no longer the person who believed the darkness would never end. I am stronger, wiser, and more resilient. I cherish the simple joys, a conversation with a friend, the beauty of nature, the satisfaction of a job well done. I am grateful for each day, knowing that I have the tools to face whatever challenges may come. For anyone standing at the edge of despair, I offer this message. You are not alone. Your pain is real, but so is your capacity for healing. Seek support, take small steps, and honor your journey. Success is not about never falling, but about having the courage to rise each time you do. The road may be long, and the darkness may linger, but with perseverance, hope, and connection, you can emerge stronger, transformed by the very trials that once threatened to break you. From despair to success, my journey has been one of rediscovery, a testament to the human spirit's ability to endure, adapt, and thrive. The darkest days no longer define me. They have become the foundation upon which I build a brighter, more meaningful future. And if my story can offer even a glimmer of hope to someone else, then every step of my journey has been worth it.